the helicopter there. Again, we're desperately trying to get some more information on the pilot or anybody on board the Air Force helicopter.
And I don't think we've confirmed exactly what this helicopter was, if it was ours or not, but judging from that wreckage there, it's really hard to tell at this point. You can see that is sort of the back of the tail end of the helicopter. It's really hard to tell right now. We are still getting witnesses who are calling in with their live reports, their live experiences. It sounds like, Chrissy, we have Tyler King on the phone. Is that it? Okay, we don't quite have Tyler on the phone. We are getting him live on the phone. Please let us know as well. Hopefully, these people in these cars were okay as well. We just don't have these reports at this point.
We can say that we've been watching this immediately since it did happen, as firefighters did arrive, and we have not seen them pull anybody out of those parked vehicles there. So we're hoping, again, that that's the good news, that those were vehicles already parked and no occupants inside the vehicles. We still don't know what the story is inside the Air Force helicopter that crashed, again, now about 21 minutes ago. That fire, as you look from these live pictures now, is pretty much all but out of the burning helicopter and the two vehicles that were also burning there on the ground at the Seattle Center. We still see smoke in the sky, obviously, because so much black smoke poured into the sky over the last 15 or 20 minutes, and now it's just white smoke that is dispersing in the area. But again, that area is cordoned off, taped off by Seattle Fire and Police, and you do want to avoid the Seattle Center area this morning. Please don't come down here. Traffic will be gridlocked, and we need the chance to authorities to get in here to investigate and assess and hopefully get help to anyone who might need it still on the scene.
And we've seen a couple people pass by on this live picture here. If you can, like Brad mentioned, stay away. You don't want to go down and gawk there and just you know, be too close to this investigation as fire crews work through this, police crews work through this. As we show a KOMO cam, though, you can also see a little farther back, you can see the police response. Take a look. You can see all those flashing lights and how far that spans there. So, as we've mentioned, definitely avoid this Seattle Center area, as this happened right on Broad Street, right between the Space Needle and where we are here at Fisher Plaza. Broad is shut down at this point, and police and fire crews have already cordoned off that area right now.
So we're fanned out. We're on the street talking to different eyewitnesses right now. We're also checking in with Seattle Police and Fire to get some information from them, and hoping that we will have an update momentarily here as to exactly what happened there on the scene and what their involvement is at this point. As we see, I mean, there are just several fire trucks. I don't think we can even see them all in these pictures here on scene there. We have not heard of any other damage beyond what you're looking at right now. It does not appear that any buildings were hit, or even trees for that matter. We've seen the focus right there on the ground at the Seattle Center involving the helicopter and those two cars.
All right, so we also have our own KOMO 4 reporter, Denise Whitaker, who is calling in from the scene this morning. Denise, I think, were you in the newsroom with us when this happened, or were you outside?
No, I was in the newsroom with you, and I heard the crash as well and immediately ran to a balcony. As you guys have mentioned, there are a lot of construction projects in the area as well. You know, it might be thankful or amazing that the chopper did not hit one of those projects with dozens of workers down there working. All of those workers ran and screamed from the scene because, as you can imagine, a helicopter full of fuel went up in flames. I just spoke with one witness down here on the scene who told me that at least he saw at least one of the gentlemen in the car get out of the car. So he was able to get himself out of the car when the chopper crashed and then collapse a bit away. And he said he thought that guy might be okay. Of course, we don't know. Medics are working on him as we speak at this moment. Another gentleman, another witness I talked to down here, said he had just parked his car and he could hear the chopper. He was having a conversation with a friend. He could hear the chopper noise taking off. So they kind of stopped their conversation, as you often do down here when the helicopter is coming and going, because it is very loud. And he described it as, he said it looked like it was caught on something, like the helicopter was somehow caught and unable to lift like it's supposed to. So these are witness accounts that I'm getting from down here on the scene right now. Of course, at this hour of the morning, there are a lot of people coming and going in this area of town, and a lot of people certainly stopped, saw the chopper, and saw what happened.
Absolutely. Just tragic developments unfolding here on this Tuesday morning. Again, the KOMO television news helicopter crashing near the Seattle's at the Seattle Center, right by the Space Needle. We are still waiting for a report on whether or not there are any casualties. We're hearing that there may be at this point, but we're still trying to get confirmation on that. Denise Whitaker, thank you. Please continue to help us out with some more information as you talk to some other people or witness things changing out there. That's encouraging to hear that one person in one of the vehicles that was hit was able to get out of the vehicle and get away from the fire. Hopefully that person is uninjured.
All right, Denise, we will keep up with you in just a few minutes. It sounds like we do have several reporters, several photographers on the scene right now just to keep you updated on this. Kelly Koopman's also tweeting as well. You can follow her. She is out at that scene, and she had said sort of the similar situation that Denise had said, that she was told by a witness one person had crawled out of the car. It sounds like they didn't escape with completely without injuries, of course. But we will continue to monitor this, excuse me, as we learn about further injuries, further casualties.
All right, these are pictures coming in right after the crash, as we literally just pointed cameras out of the newsroom here at KOMO 4 right after this happened, about 7:40 in the morning. So still less than a half hour ago. Many of us in the building felt the building shake. We heard a thud, and then we saw a whole bunch of black smoke start pouring into the air. And as we looked out of the window, our fears were realized as we saw the KOMO 4, Air 4 as we call it, our news helicopter had crashed there on the street at the Seattle Center, here at 4th and Broad, right next to the Space Needle. And then we saw that huge fireball and a lot of black smoke pouring into the sky. Again, thanks to the Seattle Fire and Police, because they were there in minutes putting water on that.
2 minutes at tops.
At the most.
And it was just how you had said, Brad, we do have that familiar feeling. We're used to hearing the helicopter take off and land all the time at KOMO, so that didn't really get us. And even Kevin mentioned this, I think Denise mentioned this about what the witness had heard. Something didn't sound right, which called our attention. It was some sort of strange buzz almost right before that crash. And as we take a live look at our KOMO cam this morning from KOMO here, you can see we are looking at the Seattle Center. You can still see that huge police and fire response, so you absolutely want to avoid Seattle Center at all costs today, because it looks like this scene will be going on for quite some time as they continue to investigate what happened here with this chopper.
All right, again, everybody, so this happened about a half an hour ago here, and that's why we continue to break into Good Morning America's programming here of this horrific helicopter crash happening right in front of us this morning at Seattle Center. Here's a wide live shot that we're showing you here of the area. Again, this is a busy area of downtown. It's right at the base of the Space Needle, the monorail, EMP, and an area where there are at least 7 or 8 cranes, all within about a quarter mile, as so much new construction is going on in this area